What it is, y'all? What?
Tell me why I'm so excited to see your face again.
Listen, I'm so pumped right now because I just found out that I was number 80. I finally hit the charts.
Woo!
I'm so happy, right? Like we did it again. And they were like, "Are you so excited? Like, were you nervous? Blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Listen, this is the truth. And I'm going to tell everybody the truth right here on this TikTok. Everybody's going to get the truth. I'm happy that I hit the top 100 for one reason and one reason only. Okay? Because some girl last time for Tangle and Tinsel said that my book was a disgrace to the top 100 and didn't deserve to be on a list like that. And so because I'm petty as hell, I was like, I'm going to ruin her day. I'm going to ruin her day. I want this not for my success, not even my bank account. I am only doing this for her. I'm so happy I ruined your day. Ah! Like, yeah.
And she's like, and watch me do it again.
Yeah. You have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep ruining her day as much as I can. So I'm just super excited. But no, I'm really excited to be. I'm really excited. I got a bunch of text messages while I was on an Instagram live, and everybody was like, "You're 80, you're 80," and I was like, "Whoa!" I was freaking out.
That is so exciting. I even have my little cocktail here to hang out with you later.
Woohoo! Oh,
There's
look,
extra coffee in it, so.
I went to
Yes.
a big glass of wine.
Once again, Sarah's the least classy person here. I just have a bottle of diet soda.
This is like 65% liquor, and then like everything else is what was left of my son's Chick-fil-A peach milkshake, and I'm like, that'll mix.
Do you just have umbrellas laying around your house to spice
does.
up a drink? You fancy
She does.
lady?
What I was
Like,
thinking. I was
it's an umbrella drink time.
No, she even has glitter. Okay, she's extra as fuck.
I know I put glitter in there, but it's too creamy. You can't see it. So
Yeah, you know what else is creamy? This book. You have to read this
She's
book.
got a cup full of TJ, Nate, and Crew is what she's got. Yeah.
truly.
Oh,
Trilina, how has release day treated you? You went on so many adventures today.
Listen. Okay. Samantha, are you like camera ready or no?
I had like a drink set up, but not really. I look like a bridge troll.
Oh,
we can twinge.
You could do your camera if you wanted. I don't care. I changed my mind.
Oh, you changed your mind. So after all this, you're gonna give a girl no notice. You are the true definition of chaos demon man.
Hi.
First of all, same. I literally am like, cool.
Hi. Read my book. Look at me, okay? No, so what I was gonna say is, it's been I wanted to. Okay, there's an inordinate amount of pressure on this release because there's this weird thing that happens with people when you hit number 1 on the charts. They're like, "You're gonna do it again," and I'm like, "What do you think about that? Don't talk about it." So I don't know when it's gonna happen, and you can't control it. I can only just do what I'm gonna do. I write the book, it goes out into the world. I cross my fingers. People don't say I'm hot garbage. That's all I can do. So I was like, I gotta get my mind off stuff, or I'm gonna have a stroke, and I'm too young for that. Okay, so I tried to go swimming, and I was like, someone drown me. I can't be in this pool anymore. And then I was like, I gotta relax. And so then I was like, let me just work. I'll just work. Couldn't get anything done. I was like, oh, checking the charts. I was like, don't check the charts. Don't do it. So then my husband was like, you gotta go for a massage. And this is what happened at the massage. This is what happened at the massage place. I go in to get a massage. This very lovely girl named Willow. God bless her. I'm very sorry, Willow, for your service today. It was like, if you would disrobe and get under the thing and get ready. And I was like, cool. So I got into the little thing and I got I had underwear on, whatever. And so I put my blanket over and I'm laying there with my head like this, right? That's what I look like.
That's all the story.
And so all of a sudden, she comes in, she's doing like aromatherapy. Please take 3 breaths. I'm like smelling in eucalyptus. I feel like my eyes are burning, whatever. She's like, is it good? I was like, it's great, whatever. Just rub me down. And I'm trying to relax. And all of a sudden, about 15 minutes in, my friends know that when my phone is on Do Not Disturb, if you ring through twice, it will go bzz, bzz, like it'll ring. So I'm sitting there, finally starting to relax, like, okay, I can do this. I could be zen today. And I hear
Joke's on you.
Bzz. I threw that broad through the damn wall. I was like, I gotta get my phone. I flew off the table. Just like, here I am. I flew off the table, hand holding myself on the ground, like grabbed the phone, table. And he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, lady, do I look okay? I am unhinged." And I was like, what? And my friend's like, "Number 192, whatever it was, 192." And I was like, "Fuck yes, fuck yeah!" Like I was a football player. I was like yelling like gutturally. And you know, the person next to me is just trying to get a nice, calm massage.
Yeah.
And they're hearing,
She's like,
yes, like.
She's like, "Can this bitch shut up?"
So I was like, "I'm so sorry, lady. I'm so sorry you saw my boobs. I'm so sorry for all of
That's
it."
the best happy ending I ever heard next door.
Yeah, whatever. They're like, "I want that massage."
I lost my mind, but I was super excited though. So the moral of the story is I can't relax. I'm just who I am, and we're not going to change me.
Okay, so next release, is it just an all day long party to put that adrenaline someplace?
Absolutely.
Can we just have a 24-hour party? I would love that.
I would have come to your house for that. If you're like release day, we're just doing
I
a
would have
pool
come.
party
I'd have spent good
at
money.
Trilina's house. I would have driven down. Me and her would have hopped in the car.
Dude, I will
had 2
like
days off.
come down. We'll party in the pool. We'll have mimosas for breakfast. Like I just don't want to like get hammered. Exactly. You never worry about it. Correct, Nikki. I don't want to have to think about it anymore. It makes me too nervous, and I want to do it. But it's been great though. It's been a great release day. I'm excited for it to be over.
Well, will it really be over for you? You're just gonna continue to see.
No, it's not over until like July 31st.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I gotta be there.
It's like
Yeah.
release.
I got stuff to do. I gotta talk to people. I gotta keep them from talking about everybody else's book but mine.
Yeah. Same. Honestly, I feel like every video from now on is gonna be like every other at least. Like, hey, have you heard about my friend?
Have you heard about that babe who gets railed by 3 guys in Vegas? No? Well,
No.
let me tell you a
more about
story.
it.
As soon as it starts to die down, I'm gonna get a for this audiobook, and it's all gonna start from square one. I'm gonna be reliving everything.
Listen,
Oh, I just know it's gonna be yummy. It's just gonna be so yummy and hilarious.
Can I tell you, I was so disappointed that we were on a time crunch because, for those of you who don't know, I was in Book Bonanza and I did Trilina's hair for the event. And the second day I was doing her hair, she had just gotten some like snippets, some audio snippets, and we really didn't have a lot of time because she was on a panel and I was going to be doing her assistant's hair, and I'm over here like, if I had time, the way I wanted to beg Trilina to play me these snippets.
Samantha, I don't know how you read this stuff. Like, I gotta be honest with you. Like, I read it back to me, but I hear it in my own voice, and I'm thinking about like what the next character's gonna say, and like I'm like, does that have a flow to it? Whatever. I don't know how you read, like how you act this stuff out because,
She can't even hear it.
She DM'd me. I'm going to blow up your spot. She DM'd me like a little, cute, naive little doe-eyed babe in the woods and was like, so I just listened to the audio and I wrote some dirty smut. I was like, yeah. And she was like, I'm blushing. I'm listening to it and I'm blushing. And I was like, okay, B. I listened to Tangled. I read Tangled in Tinsel. You're blushing over what you've done here. Come now.
I will. Don't worry.
dude,
Oh, I did.
How did you write "you're a dirty" and not think? How did you look right into the eyes of the and say dirty, nasty things and not think that was what it was going to be like?
I was saying it. You know what I mean? Like, I was the one saying it. Like, I'm crew. Newsflash, everyone. Like, I'm TJ, I'm Nate. Like, I'm doing it. So I feel like I'm method right. Like, I'm a method actor. Like, I'm method writing. Like, I'm in their head. And I'm like, and I'm like, yeah. Like, I feel super. Listen, if I write a really dominant scene, afterwards, my husband better run. Because I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, that's a little aggressive, Trilina. I'm like, what do you mean? Like,
Like I said, come
I
here.
get a little wild. Like, you gotta be careful with me. So, like, he's like, why are you grabbing me like that? Like,
Did you? Okay, Trilina, when you heard it, did you like? I don't know. Did different things? I mean, besides obviously
yeah,
you're blushing,
me,
but
for
like,
sure.
did you feel differently about the characters in the story hearing it recorded?
Yeah, sometimes experiencing them like through audio
like
changes
literally
your
my
opinion.
cheeks are hurting. Like my throat feels hot. Like I can't even like thinking about it. I don't know. Like I wrote like it felt okay. This is what I'll say because I took out like I missed a couple dialogue tags, but like because I took out so much of that, it is a very voyeuristic experience for the listener. Because it just sounds like I'm overhearing something happening in a different room that maybe I shouldn't.
Move over Quinn app. Trilina's coming for you.
For sure. Like, you don't need the Quim app. Like I got you. So and my narrators are better.
You're
so
like, really? I just write audio
your
now.
neighbor and it's the worst. So I went and I try. Okay, listen. I tried to get ready for it because my friend was like, "How are you going to listen to these scenes? Because you are a baby. You know what I mean? Like you're a baby." And I was like, "Don't. I'm not." And she was like, "You're a baby." And I was like, "You're right. I'm a baby." So she told me about the Quinn app, and she was like, "There's this dude on TikTok. People are going to be like, oh, we hate you, but like, go listen to him." I was like, "All right, cool, whatever." So I go and I listen, and I was like, I mean, they write it themselves, right? It's not written through the female gaze.
Yep.
Like more power to them. It's fine. Written like a dude say it.
While he's slapping chicken breasts to do the like sound effects.
Correct. Everything sounds like he's eating hot dogs. Like
Yeah.
I don't. It's like I was like nobody sounds like that in real life. It's not like you're doing it wrong, sir.
Yeah.
I see why you're single. But like it's one of those things where I was not like it wasn't like I was like it's not doing it for me. But I listened and I was like, okay, I got through that. I could get through mine. I can listen to this.
You're like,
I was
this is
like,
a breeze.
I am a expert now. Hello. I was not
You were
an
wrong.
expert. I was not an expert because it's just like I don't know how to describe it. I can't describe it. I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed right now. Like I was just like at one point I was like, oh my God. Like I was so like immersed that I was like forgot where I was for a minute. I also forgot it was my book. And that was what was cool, is that it felt like I didn't know that I'd written those words. Like you were reading and I was like, oh, like when I read chapter 1 from you, Samantha, I laughed my tail off. And it didn't feel like a book that I wasn't reading it like something that somebody was reading that I wrote. I was listening to a girl tell me a story about some crazy night she had. That's what it felt like. So I was really excited about that. That felt really great, that if you can pull me, the person who wrote the actual words, out of the experience of it like being a book, like it felt very much like real life, then every reader should feel like that. Like,
What?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's the best
It was
compliment
really
to
cool.
hear.
I was really happy to hear that. And then I fast forwarded and we got to my friend Jacob saying the word come here in the most sexual way I've ever heard it said. And I was like, am I cheating on my husband? What's happening?
You're like, my rings are feeling really heavy right
I
now.
was like, wow. Like, it was just really good. Like, it was just really good, guys. You can go buy it. I can't talk about it anymore. It's really good.
Really?
I'm sweating.
So I have a question, and this may be premature because it is release day.
Nobody's
But
reading for my books.
You did give us a little bit of a treat with Tangled in Tinsel, where you gave us a bonus epilogue, and I devoured that in half a second. Do we have anything like that coming for Not So Lucky?
Nah, I'm too lazy.
No?
No, that's the truth. I'm sorry. I'm too lazy. I don't want to.
Potentially, though.
Like everybody was like, wait, did she actually say that? No, I'm too lazy for that. I wish. I mean, listen, I don't have anything coming out like a bonus epilogue, but
Would you ever release that chapter that you started to write that was gonna be the spin the bottle scene that you were like, skirt, we can't do this?
how dare you watch my Instagram live?
Look how thirsty these girls are. They're
I
so thirsty for so much more from you.
I know. Yeah, probably not. I probably won't.
I think you will. There's some
I probably
hesitation
won't.
there in the face.
No, I probably won't because. Oh, what do I say? Am I allowed to talk about it? Because I have a Tangled and Tinsel novella coming out, a sequel coming out on Christmas with Crew and Samantha and Eleanor and her boy. Everybody goes to their parents' house, and it comes out along with the audio. Oh man! So
Stop
it's
it.
coming out on Christmas. It comes out on Christmas. I won't write a bonus epilogue because I'm writing that's what I'm writing. I'm writing Samantha and Eleanor take all their boys. They take them back, minus Nate and TJ, but they come later along with Millie. and they are there. It's the time period in which we end in September for Not So Lucky to Christmas time. So we pick up that Christmas. It's in chronological order. So we pick up that Christmas, and the girls bring their boys home for Christmas.
Trilina, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
It's Inherited Kinks. Is this novella going to be an orgy hosted by their parents?
Oh my
Her mom's
God.
like, so I'm thinking more Chardonnay, everyone. No.
Stop. Don't, please, God, don't do that. I'm in
No,
a
but
taboo.
there are a lot of like really funny dude scenes where like Crew is in the hallway sneaking in because her dad is like, no boys in the room. I don't care how old you are. No boys. Nobody's married. No boys. So like Crew is sneaking in, and Reed and Crew like high five in the hallway as they're trying to sneak into rooms. Like it's a lot of that kind of fun hijinks for Christmas. And
I can't wait.
And because we know at the end of Not So Lucky that Eleanor and Crew get married again, the boys are also, it's really fun because the boys are actually helping Crew come up with how to propose.
Oh my God.
So it's a really cute novella. It's an actual novella. I'm not gaslighting anyone this time saying it's a novella. It's 300 pages because I'm a liar who lies.
You were a liar who lied, and my calendar was very much like, oop, bigger than I was ready for. Gonna need some calendar lube. Okay.
Calendar Lou.
Everyone's like, it's a
Tell me
novella.
right now,
I'm like,
Samantha.
yeah, it's a
Samantha,
novella.
why are
They're
you
like,
just like my favorite person right now?
everybody's like, it's 300 pages. And I'm like, that's novella. It's just like a thick girl. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. You're
We
just
like
like,
the thick girls. Like, she's just got a little padding. It's fine. And they're like, that's a novel. And I'm like, mm-mm.
You're like, it's a holiday, therefore it's a novella. I don't.
Correct. I still call it a novella. I have it on Amazon. And somebody in a review was like, 280 pages is a novella? Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah.
I'm saying that with a straight face.
It's fiction, and it can be whatever it wants to be. So
I decide. I don't care. So I'm a terrible person. Whatever. So I will not gaslight anyone, though. It really is a novella. It's like very small, but it's
75 pages.
well, it's 412 pages. Quick read, guys. Quick read. Day read.
Can I say?
Read like a novella
It's a
in a way.
duet. It's fine. It's a duet.
I have to say,
funny?
you talking about this like concept for the novella, one of the things that struck me about Not So Lucky that I was surprised about, having read Tangled before, was how like sweet, like it's filthy, dirty, and funny and all these things, but I was shocked at how sweet Not So Lucky was.
Yeah. I mean, he's a sweet guy.
And
That's
like we have the most like epic movie rom-com ending ever. Like roll credits, yes, amazingness. And I was really like I was ready to strap in. I was like, okay, here we go. It's 300 pages. It's gonna be 300 pages of a lot, every position imaginable. Let's do this. Get into it. And then I was like,
doing,
oh wait,
face masks. Like,
yeah. I was like, oh, there's all this like sweet connection with them, and like it was a really wonderful, yeah. So.
Like that conversation they have on the roof together where they're sharing the beer. It's my favorite conversation.
Yeah.
It's so great, and the drive-in movie whole sequence, every part of it.
Yeah.
I literally looked at my husband and was like, it's on my bucket list now. Because of Sarah Kate, now I need to get finger banged under the Eiffel Tower.
yeah, you just start adding things to your
Now
list.
I also need to like play around at a drive-in movie theater, but in a safe place where like
drive-in movies are the best, and Vegas has one, and I used to go when I was a kid. Not so much a kid, but like a slutty teenager, and it's super fun. I'm just saying, it's
So based on a real story, based on a true life event.
possibly. There are true life aspects in every book except for Tangled and Tinsel. Like, I don't really have any true life aspects in that one.
You're like,
But the word gimme is a true life experience. Like, that happened to me. Like, that's where I came with the word. That gimme happened to me.
you're like, that's the
So-
only good thing that came out of that relationship because
Pretty much. It wasn't a relationship. I don't even remember his name. It was just a relationship for Saturday night.
oh, got it. Because that's like a Where's Waldo in all the Trilina books. Like you see a
said
gimme
gimme, I
and
said
you
gimme.
go there. That's it.
you said it's yours. You
I
got
know,
it.
but I think Kamir is just as like saucy. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
the way, and you know what's funny about this? And I don't even want to give him a compliment because I'm a little bit mad at him that he hasn't those corrections, whatever. I, if you see this live, I like you just as much. I'm just kidding. I like you a lot. Your vocal cords only. So,
The one gift from God.
You verbally touched me downstairs. You're my favorite.
The word "gimme" in my head, or no, not the word "gimme." The word "come here" in my head was said as if he didn't mean to say it aloud. And I was talking about this on Instagram just a little bit ago. Like when I wrote it, it was almost like it was a direction his mind was giving him to say, like, pull her over. Like, I want her, like, come here. But, like, he didn't mean to say it aloud. And it was always attached to a sexual thought. It was when he wanted her the most and he couldn't stop. He was like, come here. Because it always accompanies emotion where he's, like, pulling her, dragging her, doing something like caveman, like come here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I hope that he picks up on the nuance of saying it so it's not, like, some, like, over caricatured, like come here. Like, I don't want Mortal Kombat. Do you know what I mean?
Get over here.
I don't want that. I don't want it to sound like a direction, and I don't want it to sound caveman-y. Like, it should be, like, subtly sexual, where he's thinking his thoughts aloud. Where he's saying his thoughts aloud. And I was like, I hope he gets that, because he's never going to answer my DMs. So, like, I hope he understands that. So, that on your now. So I was like, good job, you. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever found out if he got COVID too?
No. Oh, that's fantastic. It'll take longer to get the corrections done.
Do we know? Did he get it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my god, that's great.
I'm being such a jerk. No, he's lovely. Lovely.
Yeah.
I love you. You're funny.
Sarah and I like to talk about how one of our love languages is like loving shit talk.
Yeah, it's my love language.
Look, I just don't have any. I'm too old to not be blunt, but I try to have tact. I make an effort. I mean, it doesn't always work out, but I try.
It slips every once in a while. Right.
I will tell you, though, that when I heard the first snippets of the book, I will say that Samantha Brentmoor makes me want to write every book in a female perspective only, so she can do every voice. Because the way she dominates that book.
Like, I just eat those boys for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, baby.
Those boys for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She's freaking amazing.
Eat them like they eat Eleanor. It's fine.
I'm her biggest fan.
I'm like giggling like you listening to your first sex scene, lady.
I'm gonna die, like, when I hear the whole thing in full. Like, I heard a lot of stuff, but, like, I can't. Oh.
Is that something that you're gonna do? Because a lot of authors, they don't listen to their whole
They don't. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they do that.
I think like could not be me.
I am way too much of a control freak. Like, this is my entire product. Are you kidding? Like, I want it to be completely correct and right for the audience that I'm setting it for. And so I would not, there's no way that I couldn't listen to it. I would, yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to make reaction videos to you listening to it?
I will, absolutely, because I want to go viral on TikTok.
I cannot wait.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna perish though. Like, that's.
I need you to spit in your husband's mouth, okay?
That'll be a real viral video because then he'll yak. But, like, I think I can't even imagine the things that happen in books. Like, I can't even imagine doing those things in real life. Like, I'm a regular person. Like, I take my trash out on Wednesdays. You know what I mean? I watch Law and Order and fall asleep.
No, you forget to take your trash out on Wednesdays.
Like, it doesn't, like, I'm not living some big, huge, like, fantasy life. I wish I was. That would be incredible. I probably have better writing skills, but, like,
Hey, girl, there's still time to wrap yourself up in some ribbon for Christmas.
Oh, truly.
You know how expensive ribbon is, Samantha? Okay.
No, just go to Costco. It's in a bundle pack. It's fine.
Michael's
my God. You know how many presents I have to wrap?
Yeah, get that sale ribbon. It'll be, pumpkins post-season, but it'll still look great.
Yeah.
Really?
And I would love to have Eleanor's life. It sounds incredible. Do I have a great life? Yes. But am I also super excited that I found that lazy position when I was pregnant? Yes. I'm trying to go back. Cheers. Like, I figured out the puzzle, guys. Okay.
But
You can
okay,
both
but
lay on
you
your
had
back.
also publicly said that like Eleanor was like so much like you and your vibe
Yes.
and like so much you. So like, what are you pulling
Listen,
from?
I was a wild child because think about what I'm saying. I lived in Vegas, right? I'm born and raised. And then I left and became a professional dancer and toured with rock stars until I was like 26.
What a hard knock life. I mean,
Dated like
You're like I did
NFL
enough
player,
work on top.
didn't.
I can now.
Dated
I can
them,
now.
like I remember the first time I ever dated this guy, and I called his cell phone, and it had like a weird. It wasn't him. It was like some weird lady talking, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she gave me the wrong number. How rude!" And I just hung up. He called back. We went, "What's the voicemail?" And he's like, "I mean, people know who I am. I have to put that there in case they accidentally get my number." And I was like, "Oh, that never occurred to me. What's famous like? That's so cool."
that's something I would never think of either.
Right, exactly. But, I have the NFL player story that I can't talk about. But yes, like, I've done all of
Okay,
it.
let me
You're gonna
just
make me
tease
tell you that
that.
in person.
Listen, I told the whole entire story on my, it's the first time I ever went viral on TikTok. I told the whole entire story about how I dated. It was like, it was Super Bowl time. And so I told to be funny. I dated this guy. I didn't know he was a professional football player. So I know that trope in books is true because I didn't know. And he came into the hotel that I was working at because it was the only real job I ever had after I got injured. And I didn't know what I was doing there either. I should have been fired, but whatever. I just stole like liquor and like free snacks that they had, the chocolate covered strawberries. I would take like dozens of them. I was like, I'm going to eat off these all day. Like I was the worst employee ever. Anyway, he came in, he was with a bunch of football players, but he was shorter and I didn't think he was a football player, and he was really nice. And I thought, oh, he must be an agent or something. And he asked me out and I was like, sure. But I was like, stranger danger. So I made us meet at the most public setting at a different hotel for lunch. I met him there. He looked a little bit uncomfortable, and I was like, oh, scared your wife's going to find you? Because that's my mind. Because I'm stupid. And I was like, got your number, buddy. And he was like, you want to go somewhere more private? And I was like, no, why are you worried? And he was like, and before he could even finish his sentence, we were assailed. Like, people came from everywhere. Like, can I have your autograph? And I was like, what is happening? And then it occurred to me, oh my God, you're not an agent. And they were talking about him and like, I love that play on blah, 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 and that's Super Bowl. And I was like, wait, what? I had no freaking clue.
That's so
And so after he signed all the autographs, he was like, you want to go? And I was like, that'd be great. And so we got up to leave. We had a good laugh about it, whatever. And we were walking outside, got stopped a couple more times. We got outside and he was like, hey, they're going to giving me a ride. I have a thing that I have to do for Nike. Like, can you drop me off for this thing for Nike? And I was like, okay. I drove like when I say a turd, every time I would make a left-hand turn, the thing that you roll down the window, it would pop off and fly off the car. That's what it was, okay?
Stop it.
And I was like, no, there are Taco Bell wrappers in my car. There are old shoes. It probably smells like butt crack. I am gonna pass out. Like, please don't make me do this. And we got up and he was like, this is your car? And I was like, be quiet, get in. And we got in and I was like, I drove every straight road.
People thought you kidnapped him.
Please don't let it pop off the door. Don't let it pop off the door. And I literally had to we drove 15 minutes out of the way just so I didn't have to make a left-hand turn. And so we finally made a left and the door handle popped off. And I sat there so humiliated and he just picked it up and he was like, that's for you. And I was like, okay.
Why does this have to go in a book?
This is a 100% true story. And now he works for ESPN. He's on there now. Yeah.
I need you.
At the time, he was like highest paid like NFL player of all time. I had no clue.
Crazy. But
People thought you
honestly,
kidnapped him.
it's super believable to me. Like in what is it, Right Man, Right Time by Megan Quinn. She like went up to a random hockey player at a bar and was just like, I need you to pretend to be my boyfriend. And then everyone was like, you're dating a professional hockey player? She's like, I guess I am. They're like, did you not know? Like, he's supposed to be Santa Claus or something, and everyone knows his face. And
Do I look like I know sports, bruh? No.
so many people,
I don't care anything about sports. If you were picking up my book because you like sports, you put it back. Return it right now. Her kitty is the field. That's all I'm saying. I don't care anything about the game.
No, I just feel like this was sold to me as a football romance, and there's not enough football actually happening in this football romance.
I don't want any
I
of that.
was so upset. I read a soccer romance that had more soccer than romance, and I was like, the fuck did I just read?
I don't want to read that. I don't want to know about sports, anything about that. at all. The only defense I want to know are the D's that I'm writing you. That's it. I don't care about it at all. Cut it. There are plenty of authors that write that. Go read them, not me.
Yeah. If the touchdown ain't happening downstairs, I'm not reading
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. No, I don't want any of that. That's it. No. So like if people are like, I wish I knew more about football, there's ESPN.
This book ain't for you.
I'm sure there are biographies you could read.
I don't need to
That's what I'm saying. My favorite part about the
on my
sports.
face. Just
Yeah.
I
all the
I want to know all about the balls, but not the football.
Yeah, 100%. My favorite part about the sports is the activity in the bedroom.
Oh my gosh, Trilina, that video that someone made that you posted your story, the thigh rolling, it was perfect.
I was literally writing when that person sent it and was like, I hope you have a scene like this in your book. And I was like, I do now. Like, I'll get it in because that was hot. Like, any dude who wants to roll his quads like he is humping the ground, I'm here for it. I don't even care if you strain a muscle when you get up because you did it wrong. I'm here for it. I'll nurse you back to health.
He was grinding into that thigh roller.
He was making that thigh roller work for sure.
I think my favorite line in the book, or top 5, is definitely when like post thigh rolling when he's wearing sweats and she looks at him, she's like, oh, and gray sweats, put on some clothes, you slut.
She's like, I see what you're doing.
I see what you're doing, put on some clothes.
No, mine's the traffic scene.
Slutty. They know what they're doing too. Like, I don't believe them. They know what they're doing. Boys are out here just slutty all the time. I say bring back crop tops for boys, like those half shirts. I'm here for that. I want crop tops. I want gray sweats. Like, I want short shorts. Show me your
What's your
thighs.
stance on a Richard Simmons short summer?
Give me the shorts. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna make it uncomfortable. I'm gonna do it. Like, let me have my moment.
Yeah, I'm no better than a man.
I'm gonna do it.
Give me some nice quads. And caked up on a Tuesday, I am no better than a man.
Or like that really slutty, like, they get the tattoos on the thighs. You want me to look, don't you?
Yeah.
You want me to
You
look.
asked for it. You basically begged me.
I will literally treat you the way that you treat us. Like, stop it. No, I'm like,
You can't play me.
I
Can't play
love
me
it.
like that.
I love it. Every time my husband puts on gray sweats in this house, because he has like 3 pair, every time he gets just cold enough and he puts on his sweats, every single year he walks out and I always embarrass him. I go, where are you going looking like that? What are you doing? Why are you trying to be a slut? And he's like, what are you saying to me? And I'm like, just saying. Like, I love boys in gray sweats.
Daddy. You're like, yes, daddy.
I
Hey.
love objectifying my
Right.
husband. Any chance I get, I'm always like, who do you think you are?
Right. It's so fun, right? I love to turn the tables. It's so fun.
Mine is a UPS driver, so when he comes out in all of his browns, I'm just like, oh, you delivering that package? I'm like, hang on.
He's like, lady, I'm just doing my job.
He comes
Why are you
out in the
putting it there?
shorts.
Why are you putting it there like that?
100%. He comes out in those shorts. I'm like, oh, look at those fucking kneecaps. I'm like, oh.
Oh.
My husband's out here in like his Carhartts with his fluorescent orange visibility shirt, his steel-toed boots, even though it's 100 degrees outside, long sleeves.
I
He's
am
like,
going to write a whole scene into the next book where Eleanor and Millie are sitting on the beach just catcalling guys that are walking back and forth.
Yes. 100.
Absolutely.
10 out of 10. Want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100% going to do that. Don't let me forget that. That's going to be so funny. Yeah.
That first scene, not in the first, it was a conversation where they're trying to like get him to come out. Like, the riff off of one another was just immaculate.
That was good. Yeah, I feel like I write good, like, bro energy.
Bruh. Truly.
Probably because I have bro energy. You know,
Mhm.
so like, you know, I feel like I can like figure out like how dudes think a little bit. So I feel like I write a good bromance between guys. Like, I always like it when I write their friendship because they're easy. Because there's not much, like, I don't want to say there's not much going on, but like there's not much going on. Like, it's not as nuanced as like a girl relationship, because girls talk about their feelings also, and like we care about each other's spirit, and you know, we'll kid with each other, but then we'll check in and be like, hey, are you actually okay?
Mhm.
Right? Guys don't do that. They just joke and then they're like, bye. Like, it's just it's real like golden retriever. So it's a lot easier to write, actually.
So
I called
Samantha,
it.
did you kind of miss being able to like narrate some of the voice lines like more traditionally, or did you really enjoy the duet style of recording this?
Oh, I always feel so like I think like my stance on like duet versus dual is like the text has to support it, and I feel like this book definitely supports it. Like some books I've done in duet, I'm like, maybe should have been a duo. Like the just like the banter and like the dialogue isn't there, but this one definitely is. And I do always find it a little bit tricky because for me it's like flow and like whether or not it's a spicy scene and it's like I think of spicy scenes because I narrate in a ton of different genres, like they're like the action sequences of these books. And so to like keep that momentum going, to like get to the O, to like whatever, like when I have to like pause, put in my blanks for the guy, okay, read it, okay, like that takes a little bit more effort. So I do miss it. And I like do have a very special relationship with my like lower growly dude voice or like my sarcastic bored like fuckboy voice. So, like, you know, a little bit, but this one just like wanted it so badly. So it really worked. So it was really satisfying to do for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been. I would listen. Jacob Morgan did an incredible job, and I love him on this. I know I was like being funny earlier, but like I really love him on this, and he's done an incredible job. And but I would not be unhappy with Samantha's voice and everything, just because she's like I cannot speak her praises enough, and I'm not kidding. Like she really just because here's the thing that I was the most concerned about, and it wasn't the spicy scenes or anything like that. I feel like everyone can figure that out, right? And the one time where the girl speaks the least in a book is in the spicy scenes when I write them, because I'm concerned with him actually showing up. And I feel like in real life, if you're doing a ton of speaking, like if you can give a monologue, perhaps he's not doing it right. You know what I mean? Like maybe he should put in more effort, right? So like, or she should put in more effort. Like either way, right? The other person doing that to you should put in more effort. So like I just feel like if you can just be like, hey, what's the grocery list? Not there, right? So I want her to be speechless in a way, like where she's just like kind of overwhelmed, because I think we all like that feeling. And I like the idea of like both people. I liked the idea of having that like from both people's voices. But it was interesting when I was listening to Samantha, because it was she told the joke the way that I wanted it told. Like the way that I would have told it. It was like in my head. So, and that was what I was the most concerned about. Like I said, it wasn't the spicy stuff. It was can everybody deliver the joke that I'm trying to deliver? Because I know I'm funny.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that like it's delivered in the funny way, because people can mess up a joke. You know what I mean? And make it not funny. And I was like, oh man, did I get some not funny people? I'm very bad. Like, and so when I heard it, I was listening to chapter 1, that was like the crucial chapter for me, because that's the opening, right? And so as soon as I was listening to it, I laughed literally out loud, which is hard to make me do. I'm a laugher, but like if you're trying to make me laugh, I'll watch a whole comedy show like this. Like, you gotta really work for it to laugh. Like it's hard because you gotta be funny, right? Like, and so like Chappelle is funny, makes me laugh, right? Like you gotta be Chappelle. Yeah. And so Samantha's my Chappelle.
What?
I was laughing out loud. Like I was like laughing, and I mean, you know, narcissistically, I'm laughing at my own joke. But like she delivered it, so it didn't feel like my joke. It felt like this girl was telling me a story, and I was laughing along with her. Yeah.
Yeah, your jokes are hilarious. My favorite parts of your books, I mean, besides like the dirty spice, is that your banter and your humor is so on point that I feel like I could be friends with these people. Because nothing worse than when I read a book and I'm like, I don't like these people. They're boring. They have no, you know what I mean? There's no depth here.
That other people speak for real.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that a lot of people write not a lot of people. Sometimes I read a book. Sometimes. All the writers are great in the world. I don't want to insult anyone. Everyone's and I'm not the best. So like, but that being said, I'm going to talk about myself again. I think that it's nice. Like people don't always write a sentence the way that someone would say it in real life.
Yeah.
And I think you have to deliver it the way people actually speak, because then it feels relatable, and then it also will read correctly. Like when like for audio, like when they're reading it, there's no like, oh, that sounds weird to say aloud. No, like that's how somebody would say it in real life. Yeah.
Well, and I think to your point, like, I think that like writers obviously write from either their own experience or like movies or whatever that they like, they're emulating something. And sometimes like I'll get scripts because I work with so many different authors and be like, oh, these aren't my people, but like I need to like step into the life of. And I feel like maybe it's because like I had read Tangled and like I follow you on social. We've like, you know, messaged a lot that I was like,
Right.
nah, I know what Trilina's throwing down. Like down to, I will say, I got so nervous before I started recording because I did a very short promo that I had like posted on TikTok. And then I got a voice memo from you that was like, it's so great, I love it so much, but also can I tell you something about the way I use contractions? And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna screw up this book so bad because she's
Sure.
and she's like, okay, so when I put a contraction like this or when I spell it out, like that's what a joke means to me. And I was like, oh, woosa breath, you just recorded most of this book, you're gonna get the whole thing back. Oh my gosh, it was 3 times as long as we thought. Oh my gosh. So honestly, like my ego is very happy with As Much As You Love It because like that moment I was like, oh, I effed this so bad. I effed this like Eleanor with 3 bros in the penthouse suite. Like, woof.
Oh, like you nailed it. Like I was, and I do, like the thing is when you're writing, you hear yourself. Like if I'm saying something, I'm like, you know, nah, you know what I mean? Like it's really hard to emphasize how I just said you in a book.
Yeah,
so a lot
without like obnoxious, like
or like whatever, but it's like it becomes obnoxious to have like italics everywhere, or whatever. It's really hard in a book to like give to the reader how I would say that. Like sometimes they'll read nah you or like nah you or like they'll read it in a whole bunch of different ways and you have to just like let it go. But I knew that when it was spoken that it had to be like nah you. Like and I was like I
want to go back and re-record chapter 1 where I'm talking about dried white substance all over me in a dramatic monologue.
So
I just want it to be like so dramatic.
So hard at that. No.
She's like, I'm over here in a belly.
So funny. Oh my god, I was dying laughing. I was like, oh my god, this is so funny. Like it was so funny.
I could see it, and that's
like,
what I love about you.
Entirely. Like it's so funny.
I could see it. I could just see her walking through a freaking Vegas hotel, just like
yeah.
Like, just a phone to her ear, like, oh no.
Yeah, like that is exactly like I don't want to say that I've walked through a couple of Vegas hotels like that. My phone's about to go dead. Hold on. I don't want to say I've walked through a couple of Vegas hotels like that, but I mean I have.
You'd be lying, yeah, truly.
Vegas hotels like that, and you know, it is what it is. Like you know, you just make it work, like whatever.
There's also that moment where she just like gives up trying to keep it together, and she just like, okay, it is what it is. Like,
let me tell you,
like,
what are you looking at? You've never seen a girl in crisis before, just trying to keep on trucking.
No, the tracked scene is my favorite. She's like, I'm too old to be trapping, and I'm like.
Dude, that's my favorite scene in the book. She's like, throw me back, spoiled meat. Like she
me, literally, you don't want me, throw me back. And I'm like, bro. That's why I love
oh my god.
So
when I was writing that, I was thinking about my kids did this like the self-defense class, and that's where I got it, where they're like, this is my no-no zone. Like they did that kind of class. And I was the whole time I was thinking about that scene, like I was thinking like in my head I was hearing, this is my no-no zone, and I was cracking myself up. Like I almost put it in there, and then I was like, I think it's trademarked. I can't use it. But like, it was like so funny. When I wrote that, I was like, dude, I don't want anybody. Like I never want to offend anybody with my book. You know, like a joke I make or something. And I was like, I literally thought about it for a minute because I was like, I don't want to offend anybody with gonorrhea. And then I was like.
It was funny.
It's fine. Like, but it was funny because it was as soon as I was like, I'm spoiled meat, throw me back. Like, I was dying. I was like, this is so funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's because I hear it and I know it's you. I'm like, Trilina would say this shit. You would. This is what comes from fucking mouth. And I'm like, I don't even doubt it. At some point in Trilina's life, she has said, throw me back, I'm spoiled meat.
I probably have. And I'll tell you this, every time I go to a new city and we go on vacation, I'm like, I don't want to get sex trafficked. I can't go by myself somewhere. Like, I literally make my husband go with me. Like, if I'm walking down, like, we were in Dallas for Book Bonanza, and I was like, I gotta go downstairs and go get something. And he was like, okay. And I was like, you're not gonna come with me? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I can get sex trafficked. And he's like, you are not in the demographic. Like that's what I think. He says it all the time. He's like, you gotta give that up. You are not in the demographic. Like I know it makes you feel important, but like that's not cool, Trilina. And I was like, I don't think sex trafficking is cool. I'm just not trying to get kidnapped. And he was like, you need to calm down. Nobody wants your silly ass. Like, go downstairs by yourself.
He's like, trust me, you're extra safe. You're fine.
Listen,
You're like,
15 minutes later, he was standing next to me. I wasn't going. I'm not going out. I'm not getting stolen. Like, this bitch is not getting taken.
See me on a milk carton, bitch, and then you're gonna feel real bad.
Not doing it. Like, it's not happening. So, I have delusions of grandeur. Clearly, I think everyone loves me. I just
they do truly
want to steal me, and yeah, no. So
I'll steal you.
Thanks.
I just want, like, on this subject, like, I just want to take like read a lot, and like there's so many like female main characters that do not bring Eleanor energy, and there's something really refreshing about like a sexually confident female main character that's like not manic pixie dream girl mess, but is just like, this is a mess, these are the consequences of that mess, and I'm okay with those consequences. Moving on, let's keep on having fun. And it was like very satisfying for me to be able to, because so often for me, I'm narrating so many different characters, and whether or not I'm like a doe-eyed virgin or I'm like a femme fatale, like they're they can be a little bit the same tropes, because we like the tropes that we like. And this, I feel like Eleanor was like really, really unique as a female main character.
I mean, thank you. I appreciate you saying that, because I don't like to write. When I started writing romance, I knew that I was never going to write. My very first book, I did the doe-eye, like, I just put my hair in a ponytail, and like, everyone says I'm pretty, but like, I don't see it.
She's sexy. She's got her own thing,
Like, I did that for my very first book. Like, she literally, the scene opens with her putting her hair in a ponytail, and she's like, everyone thinks I'm beautiful, but like, I just don't see it myself. Like, I did that. And I was like, this feels stupid. And for me, like, not for other, like, you write your shit. I don't care what you write, but like, I think it's great for you. And if your audience likes it, knock yourself out, keep writing it. But for me, it did not feel authentic. And I was like, because I've never been that way. I mean, listen, I grew up where I grew up in Vegas, but I also grew up with like two very strong female role models. And it never occurred to me in all my life that I had to make an excuse, an exception, or an apology for anything that I wanted to do. Ever. And they raised me like that. So I would go and people would be like, isn't it hard, like, making it your way here? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know what that life's like. And I really loved that they let me kind of have that arrogance. Like, they gave me that like male energy. And I say male energy because it's not really male energy. It's just that kind of entitlement that men get to grow up with. And they allowed me to like fester in that shit. And I grew up thinking I can have whatever like, I'll do whatever I want. Who's going to tell me? I don't have to apologize for sleeping with someone and not talking to them the next day. I don't need to be your girlfriend. I can do whatever I want. I can sleep with him. I can sleep with your friend. Like, I'll sleep with your dad. Like, I'll do whatever I want. And I never felt like I needed to make any kind of excuse or apology for it. And so I loved being like that when I was growing up. And I knew that I wanted to write women that were like that for women who weren't like that and wished they were, or needed like a roadmap, or for women who were like that and never get written about, because we all want to have the doe-eyed virgin. And I think it's okay to be a virgin, but I wrote a virgin, and she still wasn't stupid. Like, she was still, you know what I mean? Like, she was still like, I'm in charge. Like, so I love writing those like truly strong female characters that don't, I mean, in every single one of my books, I only use the SLUT word for men, unless I'm being degrading in the way that we like it. But other than that, I call men that all the time. Like, my girls call the boys that all the time, but the guys never call the girls that. You shut your mouth when you're talking to us. No.
I've noticed that. Well, and that's one of the things I love about your writing too, is because every time I've read a book, like how you're describing it, I always feel like I'm the funny best friends. Like, I'm like, oh, I like this friend a lot, because this friend, I'm more like that than I am the main character. And when I read yours, I'm like, nah, I'm main character energy today.
But that's the reality, though, is that girls like that are main characters. Like, there's no reason for them to be main character. I have no problem with it. So, like, I don't see why I'm funny. I don't have to be the funny sidekick. I can be the funny main character, and y'all can be the sidekick. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to do that.
Your energy belongs to the back. Okay.
I like it. Like, I want to write girls that are confident in their sexuality and also never have to say that though either.
Yes,
Like,
yes,
hey,
yes.
I'm confident in my sex. Like, no, they don't have to say it. They just are. Like, Eleanor has no pattern. I mean, if you read her in Tangled and Tinsel, she literally has like no, you couldn't really say like she's this, she's that, she's straight, she's bi, you couldn't say anything. Like the girl just like kind of fits into every day all the time.
And yet is also really specific, because I think that's the thing that's really
Yes.
great about, like, you take away a lot of these like visual descriptors so that your characters can be every woman, and yet they're still very precise depictions of women.
Right, because they are a whole person. And I think that that's what's funny is that like when I took away the looks, right, everyone could kind of start to identify with them, and so many different walks of life, like so many different people were like, oh, she's me, I'm Eleanor, I'm Samantha, like so many people said that, and I was like, we're all Samantha, like I mean, guys, like we're all Samantha, because this is like a very like inherent part of like the things that we like and what we want, and we
all deserve to get snowed in and just
we all
railed beyond belief.
100%. Are you kidding? Like
Yeah.
we all need to meet famous football players and spend 30 days in Vegas getting railed.
I made my sister read Tangled and Tinsel because I went, girl, you are Samantha and I am Eleanor. Wait till that video call scene. You're going to see it, bitch. And my sister doesn't read. And she read it. And now she's like, okay, but now I need to read your book, Sarah. And I'm like, truly.
I'm
So
way
many
more of a
people say, like, I just like, who? And I was like, don't look at my text messages. Like my sister was all of my text messages talking about A and AL. Like she was like, so blah blah blah. And I'm like, like I don't know anyone who does, like my sister and I have zero boundaries that way. So I don't know.
Yeah. No,
My
truly.
sister, she entered the chat here for a second, and it took everything in me not to be like, what are you doing here, ho? Like,
You're invited.
doing it?
This is my time to shine, bitch.
It's funny.
Well, and I love what you said earlier too, because I find this comes up a lot, whether or not it's somebody trying to represent different bodies or anything, but there's like a lot of this like, oh, I'm free with my sexuality, but I also like need to address the people in the room that are not going to be okay with this. So I'm going to like talk about it in some way. Or I am mid-size or plus size or whatever. And like, I need to address the people who are reading this that are going to like, and get in the head. And it would just be really nice to be like, yeah, baby, like grab those thick thighs. Like if you're going to do it, be like, yeah, he grabbed a handful and he friggin' loved it or whatever.
Yeah.
And
There doesn't have to be a disclaimer.
No,
Like,
no. And I love that
just
like
is
your
what it is.
characters don't
Right.
come with disclaimers.
No, they don't. They just are who they are. And if you like them, great. If you don't, okay. Like call me hot garbage. I don't care. Like it doesn't matter to me. Like
Trilina's disclaimer is going to be, and he spits in her mouth. If you don't like other people's saliva in your mouth, don't read this book.
well, like that part, I'm not even joking you. Like I can't even, like I literally messaged my PA and I was like, did I cross the line?
Nope.
Like did I cross the line? Like is this too much?
Nope.
And she was like, no. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I feel very embarrassed. Like I am pacing in my office right now. And she was like, you better not take that out. And I almost took it out.
No, I'm so glad you didn't. I was like, can we try this? I asked my husband. He went, absolutely not. I'm not spitting in your mouth. I'm like, please.
Not only did I, but then I made it dirtier because I added the other stuff.
Yeah, you did.
It's like,
Trilina's specialty.
My favorite part though in that whole scene is when he talks to it and not her. Like when he's like,
so sexy.
I love that scene. I'm like, yes, sir. Listen, there was pressure, okay? Like I had a whole book with 4 dudes. And I have to bring now one dude in and make everybody love just the one dude, and for everybody to be like, I wasn't disappointed. Like, you know how hard that is, okay? You know how hard I mean,
You made it look so easy.
But I was like, dude, he's got to like, he can't just like walk in and be like, I'm crew. He's got to like kick down the door, burn down the walls.
yeah.
There's got to be ashes and shit like around them. Like, I have to really bring it. And I think he did.
Yeah, he's got dibs.
He's got dibs.
That's the thing. I was really on the fence about this. Can I say that when I read it on the page, the like QB gets what QB wants energy was like ick. initially, and I was like, ugh, QB. Like, because my instinct is to, like, kick those guys in
I
the
know.
balls. And then,
But then you
narrating it, somehow, like, being in the scene of Brady, I was like, oh, QB gets what QB wants.
Yeah, you're like, truly.
Truly,
okay,
he
I have a
really
question.
does.
I know that you said
But you know what though? He's so sweet to her all the time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's great.
So it's not until like there, and then he says it, and you're like, but you have to. Those are the kind of things that boys can say. Like, boys, if you're listening, if there are any boys on here, listen to me. You can only say things like that when you already have her where you want her.
Yeah.
You cannot say it before. You can't walk into the room and be like, QB gets what he wants. I'll be like, go
You got to build that credit.
I'll be like, you
Go
guys
get me
get
a
to
burger.
step in.
Go downstairs and make me a snack.
Try that again.
No. Like, I'm
Rewind.
not doing that. I'm going to watch Real Housewives now. To say it once already flustered. Then you say, and then I'm like, you can have whatever you want. I'm going to sure keep your tray. Like, knock yourself out. Like, it's not. So, like, they don't do it at the right time. They try to, like, they try to rush it. They get excited.
Oh, and I love how you played me too, because there was the bikini scene when I thought he was about to tell her that she needed to change, and we're like, no, you just can't look single out here, bitch. And I'm just
like, where's that ring, babe?
You know what's the greatest part about that is, like, sometimes when I'm writing books, I think, what is the cliche thing that would be in a book? Right? Like, what's the cliche thing? Like, the cliche thing would be that he gets possessive about her wearing a bikini. He would come down and be like, what are you doing? Like, you look like what you look like. Like, you look like a beer model. And I'm trying for you to be my wife. Like, what are you doing? Right? Like, that's the cliche moment. And I love that moment. But I'm like, how can I turn that on its head? And make it different so that I don't, like, so that I will bring you to that moment. So you'll have that energy in your head. Like, you're like, oh, here we go. And then all of a sudden I give you something more heartwarming. And you're like, oh.
You're like, actually, he's sweet. What?
What?
Because if I do that, if I turn it on its head, you feel what she feels.
Yeah.
Because she felt stupid too, but also like, what?
Okay,
Like,
QB gets what QB fucking wants. Slide that bitch right there.
Is it realistic for friends to get traded to the same team? Like, as a
I
group?
don't know. Who
She's
cares?
like, I didn't
Like,
write this for the sports, bitch. She's like, let me reiterate the fact that this was not a sports book.
No,
Okay?
the only reason that they all got traded to the Niners is because my husband was like, if you write a book about the Raiders, we're getting a divorce. This is bang bang Niner gang over here. Like, I don't know who you thought you married, but you married a 49er family. So you either pack your bags or they get traded. And I was like, listen, we've been married for almost 20 years. You think I'm going to do you there? And I'm like, the Niners.
And the second you
I
said,
love that man. Okay,
listen,
I give
slut,
him
now
that.
go put on your gray sweatpants.
That's
I did you a favor.
And bring back
I was
your
like,
roller,
tit for
okay?
tat, okay?
Roll those thighs
Roll
out
those-
for
Are
me
you
in your
kidding?
gray
If Anthony
sweatpants,
Pucci
right?
rolled his thighs. We're too old. He would be like, I can't get off the ground. Come help me. Like, we would.
That's true love. Can you help me? I did something for you.
This
You did
is
something
true
for
love.
me.
Like, we
Hold
sit
me
in
down.
bed and we watch, like, Love Island, and he's like, can you believe this man talking to that girl like that? I'm telling you, they're not the couple for each other. And I'm like, that's right. Like, we are that couple. We vibe so hard, and we laugh like we are best friends. You know that you hung out with us in a room, Cassandra. Like, we are BFFs.
So
We
good.
talk, and we talk so much shit together. Like, we're like, like, we lay in this bed, and he's like, did you hear it? I'm like, oh, nuh-uh. Like, we talk about our whole entire extended family. Like,
Love
it
that.
is literally Vanderpump Rules. Like, we sit there talking about these people, and they're not on here, so they don't know. We talk so much crap about. We'll sit in bed, and he's like, "You want a glass of wine?" And I'm like, "Yes." And he's like, "Could you believe so and so did that? He put that email." And I'm like, "I can't believe that!" Like, we go in. Okay, I love that man more than life, and he's like, "High five! They're dumb. We're awesome." Like,
You're like,
no.
skip the glass of wine, give me the tea, babe. Like,
Right. I love him. It's so fun. We're the best of friends, and I also think he's the most handsome person I've ever met in my life, and I still get all giggly and goofy. He was my Elvis in Vegas. He was so cute. He was so sweet to everybody.
I loved that.
Yeah, it was really nice. He had so much.
The moment
you,
we
yeah?
took a picture together, I went, that's her husband. I don't even have to guess. I don't even have to guess. That's her husband.
I'm going to tell you something. This is the kind of man you need to meet. Or actually the kind of partner you should meet, because I say that a lot, and I've been catching myself saying that, and I'm going to say this for the record. My sister caught me saying this the other day. I was like, that's the man you need to meet. And she was like, what if I don't want to meet a man? And I was like, my bad. This is the kind of partner you should meet.
Also, I'm planning to see the Trilina Pucci sapphic romance.
Dude, I feel like I might fetishize it. That shit's hot. Like, I don't know. It's the
That's
same
very
reason why I don't
self-aware
write
of you.
male.
I really respect that
It's
about
the same
you.
way that I don't write like male. Like everyone's
Yeah.
like, is it gonna be male this time? It's gonna be male. And I'm like, I feel like I can't do that because I'm not sure. I don't know if I wouldn't fetishize it. And a better author would be like, okay, let me get sensitivity readers, like let me do my research, like let me really like, but I aim for mediocre. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, there is a limit to my like. I'm
No,
like,
but like
oh.
I actually really respect you saying that. I have this conversation often with many other narrators about who's writing what and their perspective on it. So I actually deeply appreciate you saying
Yeah,
that.
I feel like I might. So like you know, because that's like, I mean, that's a huge. I will say that that's a huge fantasy for like most women. What do they say? Like on porn sites, like that's the most downloaded thing by women, right? So I don't want to fetishize it and make it about something that's
We're all
not.
beautiful.
Love is supposed to
Ugh.
be about love, you know. I don't want to ruin it for people. So, but so anyway, but maybe if I become a better, maybe if I become better at that, like I'll try to like. But I mean, I think that. I mean, everything's hot. So like I would be, you know, I could write anything. But anyway, so
I love how you're like, I'm gonna shoot for mediocre, but also I want to be number one.
listen, I don't even actually care about number one. That's the truth.
You're like, I did it just for that girl. I just really wanted to ruin her day. I'll say it again.
I really did. I like the funny thing about it is that like I think that what readers don't know, like behind the curtain, is all that stuff is really just ego. Like the numbers are just ego. You could make just as much. It's all just about like timing and ego and what you put out. Like it's all about that kind of stuff. And I don't really actually care about that. I mean, it was cool when it happened because I had never hit top 100. And also like, you know, I just didn't expect it. Like it was such an incredible, people were just so enthusiastic about the book. And I was very grateful. And I try to live my life in gratitude, like not greediness. Right. So I was just very grateful for what was coming my way. But if it never happens again, I would be totally fine. Like, I don't care about it. I don't need to like always be the number one author or always be the person that's everyone's favorite. I don't need to do that. Like I write my books for me. I make a pretty good living. So also Anthony Pucci makes a pretty good living. So like
Daddy,
cheers guys, I don't care. Like I'm good. Like I'm just here for the laughs. You know what I mean? Like let's just have a good time. Like I don't really care about that. So if I don't get any higher than 80, I'll feel so successful that I'll lose my mind. Like I had a great day. Like I'm fine. Anywho, I don't even remember what the fuck I was saying, so it doesn't matter. I've had wait. Look at my drink. Remember, it was so full.
Right, the chaos. Okay, so
I'm a little drunk.
I refilled twice. Yes, ma'am.
she had some funny things that she wanted to say out loud to you. Now that you're full of Chardonnay.
Oh you're gonna
gosh.
suck. You're gonna. Say
No,
some
I'm
dirty
not
stuff
going
about
to
me,
because
aren't you?
we talked about this because we're gonna get kicked off the live. Basically,
No,
so
but
here's
you
the deal.
said
We had
that you
an okay. So
Dude,
I
forgot
pulled
we
some
can't
things.
cuss, and I've been cussing. My bad. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
It's
I
fine.
mean
We
I
made it
have
this far.
many a time. We've made it this far, so I'm not gonna go super extra
How
on this.
far will you come?
We had talked about me preparing something to like read as like a teaser, and I was like, nobody wants to sit around on like narrate. I was like, what if I brought some phrases that I had to narrate and say them
God.
aloud to Trilina, and if she
Please, God. I will pay you. I will pay you in TikTok coin. Do it right now.
Where's your cash app?
hold on, what am I gonna do with TikTok coin? Is that gonna take me on vacation, babe? Is that gonna?
I don't know.
What is this? What is this
I don't
TikTok
know.
coin?
Maybe
Come
if
on,
you
now.
have so many coin, you can.
Somebody
I don't know. I don't know.
buy the
I can't even access my
cowboy
own
hat and the
coin.
mustache for me so I can see myself in that.
God, please.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best to either speak vaguely or just pause for them.
Really
But
close.
I really appreciate that this book kicks off with at the end of the first chapter, Eleanor says, I have to start from the beginning, so don't interrupt. Pretend you're choking on eggplant. We both know you're an expert at that.
I love that when she says that to her sister, because how do you not date 4 guys and you're not an expert at that?
Yeah.
Eggplant's your favorite food, for sure.
It's the healthier choice, to be honest with you.
It is a healthier choice. You know what I mean? I hear it's good for your hair.
Yeah.
Also, okay, what are the other ones? Okay.
Alexis is like, no hiding.
This one is actually, I think I picked all words that would be safe. He's stroking himself in front of my face in long drags, his skin kissed by the moonlight. It's poetic and also dirty AF.
Wait, can you say that again for me?
Choking himself off in front of my face in long drags, his skin kissed by the moonlight.
Oh my God! You did that! You did that second time! You did that!
Oh my
You
God.
talked right to my downstairs. Thank you.
Okay, this one also
My
safe.
face is so
Every word out of context safe. I'm rocking back and forth, my hands all over them, gliding over taut muscles, panting like I'm in heat. You wrote that, lady. You wrote that.
Why?
Oh,
Why am I the way I am? Why?
No, don't worry. It gets better. We're amping up by
Wait, there's
inches.
more.
Ready? There's more.
Wait,
Ready?
wait,
This one.
Like, who's here to refill my glass? Say hi,
Oh,
Anthony.
hi,
Hi.
we love you.
We do.
I feel like you covered your face twice. You have to take at least 2 drinks, Trilina, because you blushed like a
No, and
young
I'm gonna
thing.
need you to leave your face visible.
No, you can't hear. You have to go away. You can't hear any of this.
Let Daddy hear. Let's see his reaction.
Just give the people what they want.
Oh no, he could really hear this next one. He should really know what is.
Yeah. What happens in
like-
his wife's brain?
Okay, ready? This one, I think it's safe. We're not gonna get flagged.
Okay.
He spreads my cheeks
Oh,
and lips. God, that feels good. They're just taking me like animals.
I think.
I cannot take this. This is so good. You guys are not.
Okay,
nice.
fine. Okay, here's the last one.
Live
Here's the last
again.
one to
I'm
just.
never
Wait,
going
wait,
on
wait.
live
Okay, here's the
again.
last one to just like mortally embarrass you. Come on, QB. Your D's been in my A. You can't be worried about my armpit.
No, but for real,
great.
though,
That's good.
I'm gonna say for real though, when you have books where people are like they're doing all manner of stuff, it's like a whole convention of, right? And then the next day they're like, you can't drink out of my cup. What?
What? That's my biggest pet peeve. My biggest fucking pet peeve in this world is when I read a book where they're like, you
Or
can't
like they
share my
don't share a
toothbrush.
toothbrush.
What? No, bitch. You have been in here.
We're in the pooper scooper.
Yeah,
And we can't share a toothbrush.
I've licked your butthole, and you're gonna tell me I can't use your toothbrush? Bye.
My fault. Listen, do you guys see that movie through your window?
Yeah.
The dog
That
again.
was so
Samantha, did you see that movie?
No.
What's
Okay,
the TV show?
listen, Linda, listen. It's the moment though. It's the moment though where the girl goes from literally never, like she's never, like she is like virginal, like she is never.
Never have I ever, yeah.
Never have I ever. And then she does, right? And then she goes, they have a sequence of events where it's like they're going like rabbits, right? Which like I get, but it's the moment where they're going at it and she flips him over and pulls his pants. I was like, and he's like, these Spanish movies go in. No American movie would ever go in like that. She was like, I'm gonna handle your business. Not like lay down, get on your stomach. I cried. I was screaming in my room with COVID. Everyone's like, are you okay? And I was like, ah! Like,
Yep. That's what
I was like,
it is.
listen,
Been following
Europe holds
Tessa
it down.
Daly,
Europe
watching
holds
that
it down.
Cupid show.
Like it was so good. I'm crying still thinking about it. Just the look on his face. Listen, it was like this. It was like this. Look. It was like this. Ooh. Like,
That was a perfect reenactment. We need to get a side by side. Do it again. I'm gonna screenshot it. Do it again. I'm gonna screenshot it.
shocked. He was so shocked. I was like, it's happening. Just breathe through it. Just breathe through it. It's fine.
God. I need a replay so I can screenshot it.
Alexis said I just spit my drink out of my nose. Listen, it is the best. Oh,
Does he give you the 2-beat though? Does he give you the oh?
Ooh.
Oh, that was good.
Has a book ever made you guys like question whether like it's something you're like never would have tried that, and then you read it in a book that made you go, huh? That was
Everything.
QB Tyler's What Was Meant to Be. Like, I was like, never. And then I read.
Like, if I whisper it,
You know,
they
like-
bananas. You're
Maybe, though.
You're like, if I whisper the word, it doesn't count. I'm just
Sometimes it helps. Like if you just say it bluntly.
Credence with the dead animal over his shoulders. I was like, if someone
No.
didn't kill an elk, come
Let me go. Let go. Let him go.
Stop it.
Let him go.
I will never. He is the love of my life. He sets the bar for all men. You better slay an elk.
Gross.
You better walk in. You better smell my whole body and knock me onto a car with like dead carcass on you, and then only then will we get love.
I will tell you though, Cassandra, like I think that you're right. I think that writers, and Trilina was this for me with Tangled, where if you're a good enough writer, you could put something in that book that I'd be like that meme, like oh, and like Tangled,
like,
I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Why choose? Okay, let's see. Okay, and I was like, I think I need to start interior designing for a football team, and I think I need to be loved by all of them. And there's just like sometimes it happens.
You know what it is? With Tangled and Tinsel, it's because it's not really, I mean, it's a white shoes, but it's like not a white shoes. Because it's about a bunch of dudes who worship her. Mm-hmm. She doesn't actually fall in love with them. We get it in the epilogue. Mm-hmm. We don't have to go through her feelings. It's just a bunch of dudes worshiping her. And we just like that.
Yep. What also I feel like I've noticed, because I myself I don't usually lean into white shoes very often. It's not a trope that is normally my favorite. You have mastered like the type of white shoes that I like to read. And part of that is
A kind.
Yes, it's like I like when they're not jealous of each other, but they're competitive with each other, like for her. And not in a way that's like annoying, where they're like, look at me, like it's like, how can we make this
because
best
she can
for
be like,
her?
oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh.
Like, these dudes are in sync, but even in like Tangled and Tinsel, they were like, who's gonna get to her first? Like
me. Fine. Well, and that's what I loved about Not So Lucky is I feel like it was so laid out to where you're like, okay, so we're all gonna have a good time, but here are the boundaries, my woman. But they were still invited in to make sure that she was having a good time, but there were boundaries, and he was like, don't even try.
Right. Mm-hmm. Like, the thing is though, when I thought about their stories, like, for Samantha, that really was something that she saw, right? And she was like, I could be into this. Like, I'm down for this. And they were like, you would be down for this. And she's like, do you like what I like? And they were like, we like what you like. And then they were like, we like it together. Like, they were all excited about it. And then for Eleanor, she was like, that sounds like a good time tonight.
No.
And she wasn't expecting a relationship with Crew.
Yeah.
She got forced into one for 30 days, and she was mad about it. And he wasn't happy about it either, but they also just still had a good time, though. So it's like, all right, let's just, like, have a good time. So the first time, they were like, let's just have a good time. And then he's like, I'm starting to like her. And I loved that because sometimes with couples, I find that you can, in my research, aka my 20s, you can have fun times with each other until it starts to get serious. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, I don't think I wanna hear you anymore. Like, people go through that, and that's okay. So that's what I wrote, because there are plenty of people that have a good Saturday night when you're just dating. And then when you start to actually like date, you're like, I'm not doing Saturday anymore. Oh, we're only doing Friday and Sunday. No, like, so.
I really appreciated in books that like, oh, they're just not ready for relationships. It's almost like this problem in them that needs to be solved. And these characters weren't like that, and you didn't write it like that. They were two people who went into encounters with people honestly, with eyes wide open, in a way that was like, hey, yeah, I'm here for a good time, but at the end of the day, like, I don't want to be that shitty person in a relationship that makes all these promises and commitments and like, doesn't follow through, because I'm just not in a place in my life where I want to prioritize someone else over myself. And I don't think that makes you a shitty person. I think that actually is really great when people are honest and upfront about that, being like, no, it doesn't make me the villain that I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm just in a place where I want to focus on myself. And then when they were able to come to a place where it was scary that they wanted to be together, because they both like were this idea that someone else could maybe not be more important than their own desires, but like maybe be equal. Like I want what's best for them, but I know that they want what's best for me too.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was a really special place to be able to enter in. And sometimes, even though I fall for it every time, the whole like, I don't do relationships, and then like all of a sudden they're like, oh, but they found the right person, and then they did. Like this still did that, but in a way that I think felt a little bit more mature, realistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I also feel the
that's a
same
very-
about the forced marriage trope. Like, I feel like so many people are using the, you know, marriage of convenience to shortcut having to develop a relationship or to like get them into insta love. And I really appreciated that the in this book, marriage of convenience is like, oh, we were all just having a good night, and I was calling your bluff and being like, your game's not good enough, bro. Your game's not good enough, bro. And I was like, okay, great, we're in Vegas, let's go have a good time. And that it like the consequences blew up in their face that they had to deal with, but it wasn't like, you know, it was a nice change of pace to not be like, oh, my mother's dying and I need to have, you know, this wedding so that we can, which is its own harrowing, like wonderful story. But I feel like I see that a lot, and I don't see this version that often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the idea. I loved the idea of doing a marriage of convenience, but that's exactly what I kind of honed in on. Is when I was thinking about it, when I was thinking about Eleanor's story, first I thought of what is the setting that would be the most audacious for her, because she's such a big character.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't feel like the kind of person who would, you know, get snowed into a cabin, right? Like,
like I'm leaving before the snow.
She would have left already. She would have been like,
one hundo.
It's fucking like there's one snowflake. I gotta go. Like, yeah, like good luck, guys.
Peace.
Like, she would have been out. So I'm like, I gotta figure out something for her that feels realistic to her. And Vegas felt very realistic to Eleanor. And I was like, okay, so if I'm taking her to Vegas, then she's getting married. And if she's getting married, how does that look? Like, how does that happen? And I thought, well, she's the kind of girl that would never back down from a challenge, much like her mentor, right? And she would, you know, never like and he's the kind of guy who would never back down from a challenge. Like, he would want to, like, she would be like, what kind of game are you bringing? And he's like, I know, because they're also drunk, so they're stupid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I know. And so he says it, and then she's not going to be like, no, that's stupid, dude, because then that makes her look weak sauce. So she's like, double dog dare. Like, she's the person who sticks her tongue to the pole and gets stuck. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I was like, all right, they're going to end up getting married like that. So as soon as I figured that out, I was like, what I love about it felt very much like late 20s, mid 30s. Mm-hmm. In that, like, you are really, I mean, I remember being that age and feeling like I wanted to accomplish so much, and being in a relationship sometimes felt like a trade-off, especially from a girl's point of view. Like, in order to be a good girlfriend, you couldn't also then be a boss bitch and be an entrepreneur. Yep. Because that took away from him and his time and what he was trying to accomplish. And that happens a lot, especially in today's world, between boys and girls, right? And so I was like, I want to put her in that position where she is like, no, I'm not going to do that. And that is something that I did. Like, I never sacrificed my dream or what I wanted to do for any dude. Like, they were like, but don't you want to be with me? And I was like, I do. But I feel like if life wants us to be together, we'll come back around.
Well, right? And also, if you're gonna put that limit on me, if you're gonna try to dim my light, then no, I don't need you in my corner.
Right. And a lot of times I had plenty of guys that I dated that were like, you know, because if you're a professional dancer, you're going on tour a lot, so I would leave. And a lot of guys were like, don't you want to stay with me? Like, I love you and I want you to be here. And I was like, do you want to come?
No.
And they were like, no. And I was like, well, then I don't want to stay, so you can't really be mad at me. Like, you know what I mean? So I put that same kind of like concept in her head that she wanted to kind of do stuff. She wanted to be herself and be her own individual person without having to be the girlfriend of. Mm-hmm. And so, and he is very, very, you know, he wants to be this big NFL guy. So like, I wanted him to want to accomplish stuff. So I figured it was like very like late 20s, 30s kind of, that's a real thought that goes through that. But you can also, what you realize once you realize that you probably could have worked that out and let each other be who they were, like, together. You could have been together and just like let the person go. Like, you didn't have to actually make the trade-off if the other person was willing to like do their thing and let you do your thing. Mm-hmm. If you find the right person, you can grow together. right? So that's what I wanted for them, was to be smarter than I was at 30.
Well, and that's what I liked about it too, because there was a huge part in the book where he's getting really upset because he's like, no, like, I'm a football player, like, I have things to go. And she's like, bitch, I have dreams too. I have shit at home. I got bills to pay, and I don't have billions. So
Right.
Yeah.
Like, respectively,
yeah.
still screwed.
Yeah.
Also, you showed how like weak Saucy is when he's going to training and being like, "Oh, my text. Oh, she's having fun. Oh, I'm having feels for this girl." We're like, "Okay, bro, you're playing a big game. Like you got to go NFL and train, but also you're just like can't get this
He's
girl."
like tripping over his feet
Yeah.
on the treadmill. He's like, I gotta get to the phone. Like, that was me today on the massage table. I gotta get to the phone. Like,
I love
You're like,
Jackie
bah, bah,
so
bah,
much.
bah.
With his just like savage trainer. It's just like,
oh my god, his trainer is the best. That was
Are
the
we gonna
best.
see
No,
her
the
again?
judge was the best. Fight me on it. That judge was fucking hilarious. That judge was you telling that girl, watch me get in the top hundreds again.
That judge was my mother. Like, it was look what you did, dummies. Look what you did. Like,
He's like, and I found this video. I thought we scrubbed the internet.
that was the best, because they just were not prepared for, like,
No.
they came in playing checkers and people who were playing chess.
Yeah.
You know, like, and they were like, dang it.
Yeah.
Like,
Can
I
we
love
talk
that they were
about
stupid together, though, you know?
I love how you gave us the chicken wings recipe, but honestly, what I really want is that shaving cream recipe.
Right?
I made that up. I don't know.
I know, but
I didn't find that on the internet. It's
Well,
fine.
do your research. Be a better author. Bring
I know,
bring
I'm
us
sorry.
the recipes.
think about your
Listen,
demographic.
I was
what
just
we want.
thinking about food, about chicken wings from the Rhino. When I was in my 20s, like, everybody would go party in Vegas. And then when you would get done partying, you would go to the Spearmint Rhino, which is a gentleman's club in Las Vegas. And so everyone would go there, not for the show,
Not for
but
the
because
breasts.
they literally had the best chicken wings you could ever drunk eat in your entire life. And so we would mob up, and I would go to the VIP room and I would sit down like I owned the place, and nobody questioned it, and I would order chicken wings and they would come to me and I would just sit there and eat them.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on around me. I was just like like
You
drunk
won.
eating
Yeah, you're like
chicken wings at a gentleman's club.
just
Okay.
peripheral titties. You don't even
Well,
care.
yeah, women
We're
are
like, nobody's
shaking
a
their
gentleman, by the
goodies,
way.
and you're like, great. These are better.
Yeah, put those away. What you
I
want?
was like, I don't need those. I need these. Like, I was going. So, I was like, I need a chicken wing recipe in the back. But, like, here's the thing. I've said it before. The real cool thing about this book, nobody has figured out yet.
What?
And I'm so mad. There's a whole cool thing in this book
You're just
that's
waiting.
like, it's like a whole little treasure that
tell me.
nobody has figured out yet. It's like a little prize I left, like a little Easter egg. Not even an Easter egg. It's like a whole fun little prize that I left in the book that nobody has figured out yet.
Wait, the
You're gonna go
physical
back and read
book
the
or
book
the
again,
like what
Jeff.
what
Both.
part of the book?
Like
Both
the
physical
secret
and
condom
ebook.
wrapper
It's in
entangled
there.
tinsel.
What?
It's gonna be like the secret condom wrapper entangled in tinsel.
I mean, that was fun, and nobody figured that out. And I was like, I love this. And people that were like, I love this book. It's so discreet. And I was like, welcome condom to your bookshelf. But like, I loved that part. But no, it's better than that.
So you're gonna make me
What's
go
the
back and
one
reread
clue
this
that
whole
you can
fucking
give?
thing?
Yeah. What's the
Samantha
one?
knows. Samantha knows because Samantha knows. That's the clue. Samantha knows.
Samantha, DM me after this, okay?
Wait, Samantha me or Samantha from the
No,
book?
Samantha, you. You know.
Yeah, I'm
You-
gonna need you to slide in my DMs.
Yeah, don't worry. I won't say anything, but I am a spoiler whore, and I just need you to tell me.
Samantha did something for it.
Oh, I
specifically.
do know. Guys,
You
it's
do
so
know.
good.
It's so good.
Oh,
And nobody
it's
has
so
figured
good.
it out
Nobody
yet.
is not a single soul.
Not a
You
single
can't
soul.
do
You were
this.
at 80 on the charts.
Not a single soul. Still sitting here. I'm sitting here waiting for people to figure out
Okay,
that Easter egg.
that was like when you posted the video where you're like the live, laugh, come or whatever, and someone you had it in there, and you're like, nobody noticed this because it was like that little sticky note or whatever at the bottom, and you're like, no one. This is just.
No one
You know what?
noticed this.
I'm gonna say right here now, the first person who DMs you about whatever it is organically, you should send them a signed copy.
I will send them a signed copy, but but when they figure it out, it's better than a signed copy.
It is better than a signed copy. It's pretty spectacular. When I got the message about what you wanted to do, I said, "Oh, Fuck, you are amazing. I can't believe you were actually setting this up. This is some
Yeah.
like
It's
old school
fun.
classic
That's right.
crap where you're just like when people used to do this in like films or music
Yes.
videos
Yes.
or whatever, and you were like, "Oh wait, is it real? It's real."
It's
No,
Those
real.
are the clues I will give you. Those are the clues I will give you.
Is it real? It's real.
It's real.
Yep.
Is it real?
I've
It's
read it
real.
4 more times, front to back, and I still would not find it. I'm terrible at clues. So you're just gonna have to tell me later privately. I won't say
I
anything.
can't. I'm not telling you. You have to figure it out.
No,
So
I'm
we
not
have to
telling you.
reread the
Wait. Trilina,
like
I
8
don't
hours.
think this is a major spoiler. A parallel cousin would be the song Jesse's Girl.
Yep.
Is there gonna be a oh?
What? What?
Maybe I don't know. Just go hunting, lady.
just watch. Never bring me to the escape room. I will die there.
Oh, okay. Well, then
We'll
you
be
can't
married,
come play with
the
me
lights
because I'm
will turn on.
competitive as fuck. I'm yelling at people. I'm like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. We're running out of time
Listen,
because you're
it's
dumb.
the minute somebody figures out, I'm gonna be ecstatic. But nobody's figured it out, and I'm literally number 80 on the charts. So many people, like thousands of people, have read this book. Nobody has figured it out, and I'm dying. I'm just waiting for it to happen.
Listen, girls, sometimes it's just a numbers game.
You're just dropping all the hints, Samantha.
She's so good at this.
You know, I tell you one time, I was on a live. This was like earlier on in my bookshop career, and I was in the middle of reading Mr. Garcia, and I think that he had some piece of shit moments. Okay, and I remember going on live and just ranting to all the people about how much I disliked this character, even though I still gave the book a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. But like as soon as I said I hate that guy, it cut me off. It banned me from going live for 3 days for hate speech.
And you've just now said it 3 times in a row. I hope you don't get kicked off right now.
So far, so good.
I need you to understand the amount of trauma that book put me through. I can't with that book. I feel as strongly about that character as I do about Caleb.
I can't believe you. Listen to me. I put pivot in my book for you. Not even spelled it correctly, much to my editors just like
You're wrong. You're like, no,
she
that's a
literally
typo.
messaged me and was like, "Why are you spelling pivot that way?" And I was like, "Because in the show he says pivot,
Yeah,
pivot.
totally.
He does not spell it.
I
He
caught
does
it.
not say it pivot."
I caught it and I DM'd you.
Yes.
Was that really
And
just
yes,
for
and
me?
I did that
You're
just for
fucking
you.
with me.
So you know what?
You're
Caleb
fucking
is just for
No,
me.
you're fucking with me. You
You're
didn't
gonna
just
let
do
me
that
have
for
him.
me. Don't even lie to me.
Of course I did.
Don't
Of
even
course
lie
I
to
did.
me. We're
Because
friends.
on our first live, you were like, "Don't you know I love Friends?" And I didn't know that, and so I put that in just for you.
Okay, well then what? What? Okay, Caleb's the best. He's great. He's my favorite. He's awesome.
I'm really good at gaslighting. I did not put that in just for you. It was really good, but thank you for saying that.
And I
She's
take
like,
it
but I
back.
screen recorded you saying that shit.
I'm gonna blast it. Trilina said that this was for me.
Yes. I mean, I thought of you. I was like, she's gonna love this. Yeah.
Are you gaslighting me again?
No, I swear.
This is me inviting anyone who's watching this live to do the work for me. Go find that Easter egg, please, and then DM me on Instagram.
She was like, I will pay you $2. I will pay you in hugs and TikTok.
No, or you
We
like
left
escape
some
room
pretty
so
good
much,
clues.
Sarah.
I feel
You're
like
so
I feel like
smart.
it's a
You
numbers
should-
I
game.
feel like you did a really good job, Samantha, doing very good clues. I was like, it's an Easter egg, figure it out. Like, you did a very good job leaving clues.
Yeah, well, we
so.
already know that you just said mediocre like 20 times throughout this whole thing, so of course you're gonna say it's an Easter egg. Figure it out.
I do the least amount of profit. That's
You
all I
literally
do.
said, I like it on my back. I'm
Yeah.
mediocre when it comes to.
Dude, I know. No, it's serious. Like, I have a problem. I should be more of a go-getter, but it's so much effort. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much effort. I'm like, listen, if we all vibe, amazing. If we don't, that's cool.
It is what
People have that mindset that it's like, if you're not going to be the best, why do it? I'm like, no, I'm fine being on the upper end of mid.
Truly.
You know what that just made me think of? Talladega Nights. If you're not first, you're last. Like I can't.
Oh my God, no.
I'm just gonna be last, shake and bake. Like I can't
Shake
keep
and
up.
bake.
I can't keep up. I can't keep up.
You can't. My boss, no, my actual like paying job does it all the time. They're like owner operator mentality, and I'm like, oh, but I don't make owner operator money, bitch. So you get me to clock in, clock out. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Where are my shares? Where are my shares? Then I'll show in. No.
I don't have a yacht. I don't know what you're talking about. Owner operator.
No. Unless I'm living that Beyonce Jay-Z life. No. Even then though, honestly, like she is a real go-getter. And I would be like, oh guys, I can't do a visual album.
I'm calling it a visual album.
I'm calling it in. Like, how about you just all follow me on Insta Lives and I'll just tell you about it.
Yeah,
like
no,
it's fine.
Or like Lady Gaga going on tour with like a half broken hip. I'd be like, it's canceled, guys.
I can't do it. Listen, I danced for way too long and I was like, and I had to show up and be on do all that kind of stuff. And I just can't, lady. Like I'm over that. Like
hey, you did it. You
people are like, how come you only write like a book a year? And I'm like, that's all I got.
Yeah.
But honestly, these prizes. Like it's once a year. It's like Christmas in July for sure. Whoever wins this trip, it's gonna.
That trip is crazy.
I'm so excited about the trip. I can't wait.
That is just, and can I just say though that's so amazing and so generous of you too, because I know a lot of authors. Let me tell you, ain't none of them offered me a trip.
Everyone.
I was super excited.
Her off because she said, "Hey."
My battery saying you got 10%, ho.
I was super excited to do that for everybody, like to offer the trip because I wanted to do something that was like cool for everyone, and I wanted to invite all the readers to participate because I mean it's only because of the readers that Tangled and Tinsel did so well. So I wanted to do something for them.
I love that. Sure. I just absolutely love you.
I mean, I think people are gonna be excited. I can't wait to pick a winner. Like I'm super excited to like pick a winner and be like, you want a free trip to Vegas. Like I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. How have entries been looking? Have people been like using the hashtag and like submitting?
I have thousands of entries. Yeah, it's really
love
exciting.
that.
Yeah, it's really exciting actually. So can we just talk about my wall really quick? Look at how aesthetic that is, right?
When are you gonna put in your like BDSM like little
wallpaper is dope. I know. You know what? It never occurred to me that it was like leaning that way, like my headboard looked that way, because I just thought it was really cool. But we're gonna put it in this weekend actually.
I'm
super excited about it, and then everybody was like, "You got a bar going up with like leather straps and like a." Yeah. And I was like, "What? I got it on Amazon. Calm down." Like,
I got it on Daddy Bezos. It's fine. It's okay.
That's funny.
Also, can we talk about really quick, just like the different dynamics? And this is not me comparing creators because, as we know, we love them all. But how Samantha Brentmoor was on here, like, it's 4th of July weekend. No one wants to sit here and like hear me narrate a part of this phenomenal book. And like, Joe Arden's coming on these lives, being like, "I know I'm only here for one reason, and it's to narrate to you guys."
Yeah, truly.
I mean, listen, I think that that is such, like, he has dude energy. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, everybody wants to hear me talk. Everybody wants to hear me talk. Guys, listen. And that's fine. That's cool for him. But I'm trying to go swimming. You know what I mean? And I feel like Samantha wants to like hang out too. Like she wants to hang out.
Ladies, I'm on my 3rd scotch.
You're that cool? You're over here drinking dark liquor?
Ladies, I'm on the East Coast. It is 11:38. I'm on my 3rd scotch, and here's the deal. I want you to have your own intimate experience with me in private when you get the audiobook for yourself.
You were the worst, I swear.
You know what? I will have my own private moment with you when I get that audiobook.
Yeah,
the DMs are always open. I always love a live react, and
all you'll hear
makes me giggle.
Okay, no, you can't hit me with that because I will be in there with voice memos. I ain't above it. Trilina,
Ask
no.
Trilina. I answer a
Really?
I'm in there being like, bruh. Every 5 seconds, you're gonna get a voice memo of me just being like, oh my god.
It's true.
I felt bad for Trilina. I'm like, we're harassing her at 3 in the
Yeah,
morning.
where's
And
all
she's
this
responding.
merch?
She's responding.
Where's the merch ideas we were throwing at you? We were doing solid ones. Solid.
They're down. Coming out. I got them going. I got to take some time to create this
Trilina,
stuff.
which conventions are you going to for the rest of this year? Am I ever going to meet you in?
I hope so. I will be at Steamy Lit, and then I will be at Love in Vegas. And then after Love in Vegas, I will be at, that's next year. I'll be at Rare. You want to go to Scotland? I don't know.
I'm going to Rare in London this week.
Oh, Dennis.
Yeah, sorry, but also I'll be in Vegas.
You will? Yay!
Yes!
Okay, we have to figure out a dinner then.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, me just acting like I was invited to that. I'm like, absolutely, let's figure out a dinner.
Yeah, I was not. I had a great time last year. I had a gig that was like lining up with it, and then the gig moved, and then Teddy was like, "Are you actually going to gamble with me this year?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And then Teddy was like, "We're gambling in Vegas." I was like, "Okay."
First of all, I
my
don't
arm to go to Vegas.
He's
I
like,
don't
that's the reason he goes to Love in Vegas. He's like, because I just want an excuse to go to Vegas.
Bro, I don't gamble. That's not, no, I need
Love
for
that,
sure thing.
Dude, it's like I feel like he has a cooler with orange slices for his like kids' soccer game. You know what I mean? Like, it's just such, like, cool
That's
that
not.
we're
You know what? That is couldn't be farther from the vibe, but he is good
Really?
peeps. Yeah.
That's so funny. He's so chill.
No,
That's so funny.
that's vibes I get when I'm hanging out with him. Because he was saying, I remember him telling a story once on a live where he said, he was at like a middle school doing like sound equipment for like a school play, and he had some of the like teenage girls come up and be like, "Oh, we found one of your books on Audible," and he was like, "Yeah, under which name?" And then it was under his more like wholesome pseudonym.
Oh,
and he was like,
God.
"Oh, whew,
Oh god,
that's
could you imagine him just listening to Zayd Meadows? Like, no thanks. Oh, I'd be so concerned. I'd be like, where's your parents? God.
And I just like from then on, I thought, isn't that hilarious? He's like going to PTA meetings with these moms who are probably just like, we know who you are.
I've touched myself to you, sir.
That's why we have pseudonyms.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'll tell you in
your real
person.
name, Samantha, when I meet you in person. If that's not your real name, I get to know your real name.
Yeah, you absolutely do. I will tell you that the crossover is Sam. Sam is both a real name and the pseudonym, but you'll never guess my real name.
Okay, I'm so excited. Okay, I get to know, and I'll never tell anyone. I mean, truly,
It's your own Easter egg. You put an Easter egg in Not So Lucky. My name is now an Easter egg with you.
Probably something beautifully exotic, like Samara, or like, I don't know, something cool.
I don't miss names because I'm not good at it. I don't, it's not happening.
Are you like, for whenever you like come up with characters, you in one of those like AI, like come up with names for me?
Me?
I don't know. Some people do. Like, I'm not creative like that. I'm like, oh, I need a name. Type in the internet. What are some good top 100 video names in the last 20 years?
It's not Trilina, but I'm keeping it. So there's that.
Well, your name is Trilina.
Yeah, it is Trilina. Are you kidding? Have you not known me for a minute? I'm way too much of a fucking narcissist to not have my actual name on my book. People were like, "Don't you want to write it or a pseudonym?" I was like, "No, I want all the fucking. I'm a Gemini. I want all the spotlight.
I want the clout. I worked too damn hard for this shit. I need the recognition. I can't. That's me.
I think I'm like Trilina Pucci. Like, except they call me Trilina Pussy because they think I'm trying to be like something.
Oh yeah.
But it's just Pucci. It's like it's not even that like amazing. It's like Pucci's like yeah. Pucci's like the Smith of Italian names. It's like not a big deal.
I loved that. That's good. That's great.
Well,
that's
Okay,
so
I have to jump off this live because I have to pee. Like I've never had to pee before, and I might pee my bed. B, I'm getting too drunk to keep my mouth shut, and I am I am one of those people that will say all manner of shit when I'm drunk. Like, I will start being like, you want to know about this author that does this? Like I can't talk like that. I gotta. So like, I'm a shit talker. Okay.
That's why we all vibe.
But listen, I love you more than everything. I'm gonna pee my pants, and I love Samantha most. But I do love you. But I mean, just because she narrated the best book in the whole wide world.
Truly, it is the best book in the whole wide world.
Thank you, ladies. This was such a great.
Okay, come on. I'm gonna end it while I walk to the bathroom. Okay, I love you guys.
Bye.
Bye. How do I leave?
That's great.
I'm obsessed with her, truly. Both of them.
They're hilarious. I will tell you, 100% did not think, because, you know, I know Trilina, but, like, Samantha shook me. I was like, man, she's great. She's hilarious. I love that.
I knew it. I knew it so much. And it was like we've had a few encounters through messages where she just gave off that vibe. But it was honestly, when I was in Vegas, Trilina got, like, the snippets of it, and she's like, she's a star. Like, she tells a joke the way that I tell a joke, and I'm like,
that's how you know. You're like, if she can land a joke, she's good peeps. She's good peeps. I love that.
Oh man, that was so fun.
That was great.
Was it organized? No.
Absolutely not. And that's what's so funny, because we've done this a couple times now with authors, and that's why when you're like, I'm kind of nervous, I'm like, I'm absolutely not nervous to sit on a live with Trilina. That's just like talking to your best friend. Everybody else, I'm pissing 5 times in a row.
That's what's so weird, is that I'm almost never nervous, but something about this one, I was just like getting a little, maybe it's because it's hot in my house, and I was like,
a little bit antsy,
confusing it for being flustered, but she's great. She's great. I cannot wait to meet her in Vegas.
Oh my God. I just can't wait to just be with you guys again in Vegas. General, I'm so sad. My aunt's like, so much fun without me. I was that person feeling so sorry for herself.
Yeah, it felt like a missing energy for sure.
Well, I mean, I'm a lot. Of course, it was a missing energy. You can't miss me.
No, that's the thing. I did miss you. No, but I am serious. If you do find that Easter egg and you don't tell me, our friendship's over. I
gotta tell you, if you think I'm gonna go back and try to search for it, I am Trilina. My attention span level, my try hard is mediocre.
I'm gonna try to be like sussing it out in the audiobook. If someone hasn't told me about it.
I'm gonna forget after we get off this live. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook and never peep it. It's fine.
Wait, how far are you in That's Sick Love?
Are you ready for this? I'm a whopping 12 chapters. Today has been really busy. I have not been able to. That
doesn't mean anything. How long is the book?
So, like, what the book is 15 hours, and I'm like an hour and a half into it.
Okay.
But I will say I've been trying to prioritize things lately for other stuff that I'm doing. And now that makes it really tricky, because now I'm juggling like 6 things at once. So I'm like, I got to make sure that I leave room for my 8-hour job. And then, you know, for the gym, and then for reading, then for audiobooks, and then this like minuscule thing I'm working on. I'm like, wow, that's a lot. I feel like
Imagine having kids.
I could not. I have dogs that eat tampons, so that's enough for me. Thank you.
Thank God my kids don't eat those.
You're like, we could have problems. They just wake up and throw up in your bed. It's fine.
They do. They do. And you know what? Shame on you for
just blasting me the internet.
For those of you who are still here, my kids have the stomach flu, and they were in bed with us last night, and all of a sudden I just wake up to, and I was like, wait.
I wake up that, my dogs do that. Just all of a sudden I'll just be laying there and
like, go to the toilet, and like, they barely, one of them didn't make it, another one barely made it, and then one of them like pooped their pants, and it was just like, it was a whole thing.
But I remember, you know what's sad about that too is I was always sick as a kid, and so I remember what that feels like. And when you're a kid, you're just like, I just poop myself, I just vomit everywhere, and I don't feel good, and you know your kids are just devastated.
Well, like, and that's the thing, especially when they're that little, you're not even like upset that they're vomiting, or like you're just like, oh
You're like my poor little.
Like that sucks because I spent 9 months growing up to carry both of them, so I know how miserable.
Yeah, 100%. That's why when you said that, I was like, those poor little children. I remember what that was like.
And then he like gets up and he's like, "Can I have mac and cheese for breakfast?" I'm like,
hot chicken water. That's what
like we're gonna do ginger ale and
crackers. Truly, that's everything I grew up on: ginger ale and crackers. If I was sick, that's what it was.
My family, it was like 7-Up, and then this is not medicinal, but it was traditional, where it was 7-Up, and you got to pick whatever kind of like M&Ms you wanted, and they would like bring you a little bag of M&Ms, like you're sick M&Ms.
You're sick, so here's an M&M. I feel like that just doesn't mix. I feel like that just.
And most of the time, it was hardly ever like you'd eat them while you were sick, and it was like your treat for when you got better kind of thing. But it was like, you got sick, you get 7-Up and your pick of M&Ms.
No, see, no, my mom, it was you're gonna get Vicks Vapor Rub put over your whole fucking body. You're gonna have every blanket covering you. Here is your ginger ale. Here is your crackers. I don't want to hear from you. You're now quarantined to your room. That was me growing up. There was no my parents didn't play that. She's like, I have a job to work. I can't get sick. There's your room, bitch.
We kind of like to laugh, but in like an appreciative way at my mom, because she now, especially with all the medical issues my sister grew up with, kind of when I was in middle school, she started going like hard on like naturopathic like stuff and things like that. And now she's basically a witch. Like anytime anyone has anything, and like she's like, I know exactly. First, you're gonna get like, you know, the and you're gonna mash it with some wild dandelions and like the vitamins, and it's just
no. We don't even clean with actual cleaner anymore. We use essential oil. I haven't worn a fragrance in like 2 years.
I'm like, a century ago, burned at the stake, but now I'm so grateful for you.
100%. Like people are like, what are you wearing? I'm like, that's my natural scent. That, you know, that's just how I smell, because I haven't sniffed a fragrance in so long.
When I tell you, I have not had to take an antibiotic for anything in forever.
No, like, I literally I don't get sick, but the hard part is I'm also one of the grossest people you ever meet, and I don't believe in washing my hands unless it's like detrimental. Like my hand accidentally touched my butthole while I was wiping.
Stop. Do not put that on the internet, Sarah. Stop.
and 100%, I need you to know that I have these.
I'm putting this on YouTube. This whole live is going.
I need you to understand. I don't care. I need you to understand that I have the strongest immune system out there. Like, I will survive till the end of the world. I'm telling you,
I am a cockroach human being. You can't kill me.
No, 100%. And you know what? You guys can judge me all you want. Judge me all you want. But when you are all getting sick and Sarah's living, I'm just saying. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, teamwork for the Easter egg hunt. Alexis, 100%. Figure it out. And then tell me. That will be my contribution.
My contribution is I will be here when you figure out what it is. If you want to gossip about it, if you're like, oh my God, I need to spill the tea. Mm-hmm. That's what I provide.
Yeah, if any of you happen to stumble across a video of someone saying, oh my gosh, I figured it out, please tag me in the comments, because I need to know. You wrote questions down for the egg hunt? That's all I got. What do you mean? Oh, you wrote like her like hints. You've had the tea for months. I think it's what? Oh, are those hints too? I don't get it.
I can't. Okay, so you read ACOTAR, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like at the end of book 1 when they're like, and then solve this riddle. I need you to know, I was like, fuck it. They'll tell me what it is at the end. I'm not gonna sit here and try to figure out this riddle. I'm gonna go.
See, I grew up on like, you know, cliche YA, and I'm like,
she's had the book for so long and still has no clue. That's what she meant. She's like, I have all of the tea, but it's been so long that it's water. That's good. That's good. That was funny. See, that went right over my head. I'm a natural blonde. You can't play those games with me.
What's my excuse?
You're just dumb.
I hate you.
People are like, they don't even like each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm dumb and you don't wash your hands, so what a pair.
I'm like, only if my hand touches my butthole, okay? Then I'll wash.
Oh my god, I love you so much.
I am who I am, and I'm not gonna change. It's fine.
No, and you know what? No one wants you to change.
I'm pretty sure people want me to wash my hands. I get yelled at all the time for it. My husband is the most clean freak person, too. Can I just tell you that? He watches
With you.
He watches all the way up to his elbows. He watches all the way up to his elbows. So when I get up and just walk away, without even like flipping on the water, he's like, yeah, no, he's literally looks at me and he's like, how did I marry you? You're literally disgusting. And I'm like, my skills talk. I don't know what to tell you.
Sure.
I believe hand sanitizer works just as well as soap and water. Okay.
Hilarious. My daughter likes to put soap all over her hands and then just walk away. Like no rinsing.
She's like, if I leave it,
you gotta rinse it off, otherwise it's messier than if you hadn't washed them in the first place.
She's like, if I leave it, it works better. That's how this works.
It's like a slow release clean.
Yeah. She's just touching all your shit, just leaving residue behind.
And it dries sticky. Terrible. All right. Well, my phone is about 2% away from dying, so I'm gonna end this by saying thank you so much for hanging out with us and our book friends. We do this every so often, and we love it. Okay.
Yeah, it's great. It's been real. It's been fun.
It's been. Yeah. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys again.
Bye.
Bye.